This Busch Light Clash of the Coliseum Betting Picks edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off of your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by KUTT. KUTT is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Head to KUTT.com, that's KUTT.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. The guys just dropped their bonus behind-the-scene episodes of Sean winning $200,000 plus. This week's Pick'em prize is a free $250 Super Bowl square. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to join today.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'll wreck my mom to win a championship. I'll wreck your mom to win a championship.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you asked me stupid questions. But since I'm on probation, I suppose that's improper to say as well. If you could talk about racing things, we could talk about racing things.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
We had to delay it for a day, but listen, the best things come to those who wait, and it is here, the NASCAR Gambling Podcast, here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. Today, we talk racing picks, Busch Light Clash of the Coliseum. We got odds. We don't have everything we want, but we have to work with today. Cody, I think we can make this work.
We can make it work. We're making picks for a race that's taking place this weekend. I couldn't be more excited. I've got some comments on the books and their lack of options, but we have scoured the depths of the internet, and we've at least found enough to give out some plays now. Definitely some drivers to watch, and who knows? Maybe we'll be back later in the week with some more picks once they decide to grow a pair and put some out.
Hey, once we get a full books offerings, then we'll probably give you, like you said, some more. But up until now, I mean, this is what we've got to deal with, and we have to give you a picture. We can't not give you a book. We can't pass on the Busch Light Clash. We have to give some odds. We have to set this forward. Those of you who listened last night to the main show, you guys know exactly what we're talking about as far as we can't pass on this race. We have to give you the odds. We can't just sit here and talk about how great it's going to be and not give you any picks. So we will give what the books get us, we will give you what the books gave us. I can't even say it anymore, but we'll have some fun. I mean, like we always do, right? This is race week. We can't not have fun on race week.
Yeah. They're not going to rain on our parade, Rod. We've been waiting for this. We're ready to get back going. Pumped up, excited. I'm ready to play some bets. Yes, I love it.
Indeed. And for those of you who are joining us by way of the main show, the Sports Gambling Podcast proper, welcome to the NASCAR family. We welcome Nick Fortune into the chat. Let's go racing. Talking about NASCAR race this weekend, the dirt track next weekend. Nick is a huge dirt track guy.
Dirt tracks start next week already? Ours don't start till like April here.
Insane. I know I got to get out to my local quarter mile. That's going to be fun too. Stephen Williams in the chat saying Sonny D car wins.
Ooh, that's Josh Berry this weekend, isn't it? No, I don't know about that.
Purple stuff, green stuff. Ooh, Sonny D. Listen, I'm excited to welcome all of you guys here who have stumbled on us by way of the big show. Hopefully we hooked you in, and hopefully we keep you. Obviously, week to week, what we're here to do is give you our betting picks from the race that we've got. And so this week, again, it is the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, an exhibition race, unlike any other points paying race in that, first of all, it doesn't count toward the standings. So these guys are basically just running around to try to win the race, get the prestige, be on top of the podium, win a little extra coin on top of that, and sort of be the last one to have won this race in the LA Coliseum for the time being. And so, yeah, this is a much different race than what we're going to do over the course of the season. We'll give you some winner picks. We'll give you some prop picks. We'll give you everything that we can to win you some money over the course of the season. So welcome, first of all, to those of you joining us because of the main show. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Really don't have too much to add. We appreciate it. We're excited. Give us a little more than just this because again, it's a little bit limited right now, but going into the next few weeks, we are going to have a lot of fun making these picks, and we're still gonna have a lot of fun today. Again, they can't rain on our parade, Rod. Racing is back. It's here. I'm excited. There's a couple pieces of news. I don't know if you want to touch on those before we get into the picks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Josh Williams is going to be driving this weekend for Colleague in the 16 car. He's going to be part-time in that 16 car. As we know, AJ Allmendinger is going to be running Daytona 500. We assume he'll likely run some of the road course races, if not all of them as well. So yeah, that is an interesting thing. And I thought I had one other piece of relevant news, but I'm not saying it. So maybe that was really all the news I had.
Cody's out here manufacturing news
we got all this news to talk about. Corey LaJoie is going to be running the Truck Series race at Daytona. That's huge news for me because I love obviously betting on Corey. He led the most laps in that race last year. Got screwed by the rain, but I'm excited. I knew I would get there eventually, Rod. I remembered what else I was going to talk about. Weather was the other thing. There is some rain forecasted in Los Angeles this weekend, which is not great. And so NASCAR doesn't have the full rain package for this, but there is. So from Bob Pockris, they're going to have rain tires there and defoggers, but no windshield wipers, no lights, or rain flaps. So they won't race in the rain, or if it's so wet that there would be a spray, but they could race in the damp. So, instead of waiting for the entire track to get dry, not that it's a big track anyways, but if they could get it to where there's not a spray, it's just damp, they could throw on the rain tires and run in that. So obviously what to keep an eye on it, but the weather forecast is looking better as the weekend goes, as we progress towards the weekend, it's gotten better. So hopefully that continues.
Well, I mean, obviously we know that I'm in Northern California, which by no way dictates what's going to happen in Southern California. But if it's anything like up here, there are a few troublesome clouds that are gathering in the sky right now that feel like they could dump some precipitation on us. So if I could take my camera and put it outside and show you what I'm dealing with, you would know a little better. But I'm not worried. And wouldn't it be fun, Cody, if these guys were able to roll out a tarp over the entire track like baseball guys do? Wouldn't that would be a blast to watch them roll out a tarp.
On this small of a track.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that big.
It's just a little bigger than the football field.
That'd be fantastic. Rye Cape in the chat. Here we go. What's up, my friend? Glad to have you in. Dos Flacos with the normal cheers, boys.
Cheers, Dos Flacos. Yes.
Flacos. Kyle Lee checking in. What's up?
What's up, Kyle?
Weatherman Rod, jack of all trades. Look at it. Just because I can stick my head out the window and see that it's raining, that doesn't make me a weatherman. I love it. But again, if you guys are brand new, join us in the YouTube channel as well, and join our lovely and lively chat, which has been going.
Yeah, this is our first time doing a pick show actually live. So
is it though?
I think it is. I'd have to go back and look last year, but I feel like we didn't do any of the actual pick shows live. I know we did. We kind of broke into it with the recap shows. I don't know if we did any pick shows live. But I feel like maybe we did. Maybe we did. Lower series ones, but yeah, you got to be signed up for the YouTube for the Daytona 500 contest, anyways. So you might as well get signed up now.
Yep. And again, we're doing more live than we're not. So catch us on there as well. All right. For the first time, we're going to come back and give you some picks on the other side of our break. But let me tell you about Patreon. Those two sexy boys right there just dropped this month's bonus episode, behind the scenes breakdown of Sean winning $200,000, because who doesn't like to watch happy people winning a ton of money, especially when they pay my checks? I hope I get a bonus, Sean. Looking at you, buddy. This week's Patreon Pick'em prize is a free $250 Super Bowl square. Not to mention, listen, this Patreon, you get access to all the pick sheets and exclusive channel on the Discord. Head over right now to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to get in on the action. We've been in talks with them to add a little something extra to that Patreon as well. I think Cody was going to do some sort of special spread for, I don't know, whatever it was. Just make sure you get over there in the Patreon. You definitely don't want to miss it. It is a ton of fun. I'll tell you about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. NFL, NBA, NHL, college basketball, college football. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite fantasy players' stats and cash in. You can win a 100x with some spicy plays. My spicy play, Christian McCaffrey, more than 1.5 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Lock it in now and then just wait for it to cash. That is going to be a fantastic play for you. Look, if they have Christian McCaffrey more than 5.5, 10.5, 12.5, I don't care. That dude is going to score and score often in the Super Bowl. So make sure you jump in on that now. Watch along, make your picks. Maybe make a little cash. Just definitely make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code RACE SGPN, Underdog's going to double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code RACE SGPN. I think you'd be hard pressed to stop McCaffrey from scoring like well after the Super Bowl. I think he's still going to keep running in the end zone long after the Super Bowl's over. So
I did see cool connection with the McCaffrey Shanahan thing. Ed and Mike Shanahan, Ed McCaffrey, Mike Shanahan won 3 Super Bowls together. Now, obviously, you've got Kyle and Christian together in the Super Bowl. It's a nice little connection there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and I saw the picture of Ed McCaffrey leaving the stadium in a San Francisco 49ers uniform, and now of his boy hits home. I love that team. Love that. All right. This is the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. The only thing that's going to count for betting purposes is the final main event, the last, after all the heat races, after all the practices, after all of the hubbub. The only thing that's going to count for these is that
first dropped ball by the sports books. I would just like to say, because
Rod,
there should be to make the main event. Why do we not have odds to make the main event? This is something could have been out for 3 or 4 weeks at this point. We could have placed tons of bets on it. Okay. Anyways, continue.
A simple yes or no. I would have done a simple yes or no to make main event. Yes, no, yes, no,
exactly.
yes, no. But yeah, so that's the only thing that counts, obviously. And if your driver does not make the finals, then obviously does not qualify for the bet. As we always tell you, check with your books, make sure that they'll void that if the driver doesn't make the finals, because you don't want to get screwed on a technicality.
Yeah, because it is 23 of the 36 entries that will make the main show. Ryan Blaney's the only one guaranteed in. We covered the whole format back on Monday's show, so if you're interested in more in how that works, there's the practices. That's how they set the heat races. The heat races will set the main event. You got the last chance qualifier, the whole jazz. It literally took an entire episode just to break down the format because it's so intricate. But go back and check that out if you're a little more interested in how the format works, of course. But yeah, these bets will be for the 150 lap main event on Sunday afternoon. Oh, it's that time, Rod. It's time to give out bets. Let's go.
It's that time. Where are we starting, Cody? I know that we are limited in what we can pick. But like you said,
to the books again. I don't understand it because we've known about this race for a long time. We've not had a race since November. I don't understand why there's not more odds. So really what we've been able to find, there's some top 3 markets on there. Shout out to Bet Rivers has them. Hard Rock has them. I think DRF I saw has them. There is winning car number, over unders, odd even. There's winning manufacturer bets. And then there's outrights. That's all we're limited to now. So again, if you're newer to betting on NASCAR, if you're checking us out from the big show, in a general sense, and maybe later this week, if we get the odds, we'll be able to come back. But like in the Daytona 500 in a couple weeks, and every other race, they're going to have top 5s for us. They're going to have top 10s for us. They're going to have, top manufacturers, head-to-heads. I mean, not even any just absolutely ridiculous by the books. But that's okay. Again, making the best of the situation. We've still found some good bets to make, and just might give us a chance to do this all over again later this weekend. So starting out with me, Rod, it would be inappropriate if I did not start the season with this man, Tyler Reddick. So big on him this season. Absolutely love him this weekend. Going to take him for a top 3. Bet Rivers has him at plus 600. Being a plus 600, you might be able to get a pretty decent number on him top 5. You might be able to ride that car lift as we discovered yesterday on the main show. If you weren't listening, shout out to the JDK for that. That's going to be our version of the ladder on this show. Props to come down the road, Rod. I'm working on that. So for the Daytona 500, I'll have a prop to go for the car lift. But Tyler Reddick, top 3 plus 600. Again, look at his top 5. Look at his top 10. We'll talk more about his outright in a little bit. But 6th place last year in this race. And then back in 2022, led 51 laps, got wrecked from the lead, was extremely fast in that race. As you know, if you've listened this off season, very, very bullish on him. Very excited for Tyler Reddick this season. I think he's going to have quite a few wins. I think we're going to see him up front a lot. And I think his number just, I think we're going to look back at the end of this season. We're going to be like, whoa, can you believe that Tyler Reddick was down here with the Ryan Preces of the world and in this range, because it's not appropriate for where I think his season is going to go. So I think now is a good chance to get in on some good value. So Tyler Reddick, top 3 plus 600.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick's definitely going to be a name that will be at the top of the charts and really the top of most of our breakdowns the next few days, obviously, and pretty much all season long with how well we think he's going to end up doing. So I can't fault you on that one. Definitely the car lift, which, by the way, you'll have your bets. I'll have the sound effect coming up later on when we can actually start doing the legit car lift for every episode. So yes. Love that. All right. Well, I'm going to turn my attention to another Toyota driver and one Tyrone Gibbs. I know it's not Tyrone, but we love it. Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs, top 3. And honestly, guys, listen, we're going to give you 4 top 3 guys. Obviously, not all of them can finish inside of the top 3. So if you want to,
that makes sense.
I don't know. Listen, I'm not good at math. I've never been good at math, but maybe all 4 of them can. And one gets disqualified and you still get cashed out. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Hey, you might have had a loophole in there.
Ooh, I love it. But no, listen, kind of treat this like a first touchdown bet if you bet football, right? I mean, sprinkle a little bit on each. Don't go crazy on them. Obviously, with these odds that we're telling to Army math.
Army math, Steven says.
All I know is how to count to 4. That's what the cadences teach me. But no, so if you bet football, kind of treat this like that. These odds really do dictate that you can be able to do that and still be profitable. These aren't, minus 120 odds. These aren't minus 150 odds. These are pretty good plus money odds, plus 600, 6-1 for Reddick as a top 3, 7 plus 725 for Gibbs to be a top 3 car. These are all pretty good values for you to be able to do exactly that. For Ty Gibbs, I mean, we talked about how talented of a driver he is anyways, and how he's going to be. I think this is going to be a really good season. This will be his second full-time season in the series, his 3rd season dabbling, right? And a former Xfinity champion. Last season, he had 10 top 10s, but he started out the season fairly well for a rookie, right? I mean, after a rough, first 4 races, he settled down, hit 3 9th places in a row, 4 top 10s in a row after that. We were talking about him being a legitimate top 10 threat every week, sort of dialed back after that. But, again, it's a matter of Ty Gibbs just being young and hungry in this series. And now with another full season under his belt, he'll be able to get a jump. Last year wasn't very good outing for him. He started 24th in the main event, finished 26th, but he had suspension issues after 81 laps. So didn't necessarily get to see exactly what he could do for the entire race. But I think better, we think better days are ahead for Ty Gibbs. And I think it starts this week with the Clash, and it'd be fun to see him do what he does, and continue to grow in this sport.
Yeah, absolutely. You know how much I love Ty Gibbs as well. So I fully back that with you.
I know you would. Ty Tiger in the house. We live. Hey guys, what's up, Ty Tiger? We are excited to be in the house and live. All right, back with more Let me tell you about KUTT, though. KUTT is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Peer-to-peer social betting is new and a better way to bet. You can bet directly against your friends or other users, not just on sports, get it, but politics, pop culture, and other events, so long as they got a verifiable outcome. Plus, it's tons of fun. It's got social features that give it the feel of a betting social network. KUTT also offers the lowest VIG and fully customizable odds. You can create your own bets. We've been sitting here talking about this for a while. We might as well just go ahead and head to KUTT and create our own bets so we can have some fun with you guys along down through the course of the season, which, you know what, we will be doing. We'll be incorporating that as well into our shows. KUTT handles the payment side of things too, so you never got to chase anyone down for money. There's social features like group chats, betting leaderboards, head-to-head history, user profiles, fan groups, and so much more. Not to mention you get rewards, get cash back every single time you bet against your friends or other users. KUTT also allows you to list almost any kind of bet. You think of it, KUTT will list it. It's perfect for getting action on those fun Super Bowl prop bets. KUTT's the peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Head to KUTT.com, that's KUTT.com. Use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool. You're going to get hit rates broken down by leg as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rates for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark. Join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off of your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Today is the last day for you to get 15% off of all items all month long. Make sure you rep the NASCAR Gambling Podcast in our Racing Gambling Podcast merch. Use the promo code PLAYOFFS. You're going to get that 15% off for the rest of the day. And then we're going to win this contest. So you guys go at it. Buy up all the merch you can before the end of the day. Help us pass all the other shows by selling the most merch and you guys representing us in the most awesome way possible. Let's continue down the road, Cody, of our prop bets. What's next for you?
Yeah, next up for me, it wouldn't be a short, flat track if I wasn't in on Chase Briscoe in some way, shape, or form. So, of course, I am jumping in with Chase Briscoe next. Going to take him top 3 plus 725 over on Bet Rivers. Again, actually, I do really like this top 3 a lot, but top 5 number should be good. His top 10 number might even be pretty decent. You look back at the Steven says can't get top 3, top 10, etc. on any of his books. Yes, that is the problem we're having, Steven. That's why I'm so upset. I'm extremely upset this week with the books. They are fucking driving me nuts. Hopefully, as we continue to go through the week here, even though it's already Wednesday, numbers will continue to come out. But at least we've got some stuff to talk about here. So as far as Chase Briscoe goes, the last 2 seasons, through the formula and everything, he started well, 6th place and a 7th place start. He's gotten the bad luck both years, hasn't quite got the finish, but the potential is there. He's gotten the good starts. He's shown himself up front a little bit. We saw how strong his teammate was last season in Ryan Preece. And he's just so good at these short, flat tracks. You look at Martinsville, end of the season last year, he ended with a 4th place finish, cast us a beautiful top 5 bet there. He was very strong. He's strong. He's got the Phoenix win from a couple of seasons ago, and he again is just continually strong on these short, flat tracks. Rye Cape in the chat says Briscoe's a bum. Not on short, flat tracks. Rye, that is where he shows up. That's where you get the good numbers on him because he can be a bum a lot of other places for sure. So love me Briscoe in these short flats. Again, he's just a guy that, he's really, especially with Almirola gone now, he's the top guy that comes to mind when you think of a short, flat track, especially when you're looking for somebody for value. So top 3 plus 725. Again, his top 5 number should be really good. The top 10 number should also be decent. So again, we don't have all of these odds because the books are absolutely just fucking sleeping on us. But when these odds pop up, which they will, should be able to get some pretty good numbers across the board on Chase Briscoe. So love his top 3 number, at least for now.
Yeah, I'll back you on that one because again, we know that it's Briscoe, and at 725 for a top 3, I can't even fault you on that one. I'll go to another top 3 as well, and I'll go Bubba Wallace. I'll give you Bubba Wallace. Erica is in the chat. Any Ty Love, you just missed it.
You just missed Rod's. You just go. Yeah, back it up a little bit. Rod gave out Ty Gibbs top 3 finish plus 725.
Yes, I did.
So as Mark says, hope Ty gets off to a hot start.
So do we.
And Rod is predicting that.
I am hoping that Ty Gibbs gets us there. Yeah. But also another Toyota in Bubba Wallace as a top 3 car as well. Thing about Bubba is that he's frustrating to bet on because he will not do well when you put your faith in him, and then he'll go out and do well when you pretty much write him off. So for Bubba Wallace, it's a little bit tough. But I mean, listen, last year he led 40 laps at this race, right? He started 8th, led 40 laps within this race. Ended up finishing 22nd. Unfortunately, did not necessarily get the finish that we were hoping for. But again, he showed speed. He showed that he could be up front of this race. And really, it wasn't until the last, 143, when him and Austin Dillon got into it, that he ended up getting out of that race. He was leading from lap 43 to 82 in this. So he wasn't just leading at the beginning or he was leading somewhere in the middle where he probably could have gotten at least a much better finish had it not been for Austin Dillon collecting him as well. So again, with Bubba Wallace, when you look at what he's done on some of these shorter, flatter tracks, right? It's last season he wasn't the best, but he definitely wasn't horrible on these. I tend to look, like I said, at Dover. It's a smaller track. He finished 12th there. You had I brought up Loudon earlier too. That's an 8th place finish at Loudon. You had brought up Martinsville, a 9th place at Martinsville. So, I mean, again, these are all not your typical mile and a half tracks. He runs fairly well. So I think this is an opportunity for him to be able to get inside of the top 3. It's going to be difficult. I mean, this is one that if I were to give like a star rating to, I might give it like a 3-star rating just because I would think that it's not a bad bet, but again, it's not something that makes me go, hell yeah, and bang the table like maybe a Reddick top 3 or even a Ty Gibbs top 3 where I'll lightly tap the table on that one. For Bubba, I'll just put my hand over the table and say, yeah, I'm okay. I think plus 600 is a decent enough price to take a stab at it, and I think he's got a shot.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you look at this, 3 of these 4 guys we've been out for the top 3, all Toyotas. That could be something to keep an eye on as we continue to go here. But yeah, I expect a huge season from Bubba Wallace as well. And I think he should be solid here. He's been good here before. Obviously got collected in that crash that cost him before, but I think he's definitely got a chance to hit this at 6-1.
Yep, I do too. All right, Cody, where are we going next?
Yeah, we'll shift over to the winning car numbers. Again, just the lack of options is pathetic, but we do have a winning car number over on Bet Rivers. I'm going to take the odd side at minus 118 here. You're kind of looking through the list of cars here, and as you go through the favorites, near the top of the board, as I'm scrambling to get the list pulled back up, you've got, where'd it go? There we go.
Too many tabs open in Cody's head.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Truex Jr. is at the top of the board. Of course, he is an odd numbered car. You got Christopher Bell in there, but you got Kyle Larson. We know how strong he is everywhere. Odd numbered car. You got Kyle Busch. We might be able to hedge off of that one here in a minute anyways. Denny Hamlin, he's a guy that you can't ever count out. He's up there. You got a couple of even number of guys following that, but Chase Elliott's a guy you feel good could win this type of race. Tyler Reddick, a guy I brought up a few minutes ago. He's in an odd numbered car. Ryan Preece, another guy I brought up a few minutes ago. That's another odd numbered car for you. Ross Chastain, you can't count him out. Bubba Wallace is another guy we just talked about. Another odd numbered car. Chris Buescher's in that mix. Austin Dillon, he's got 2 top 3s in 2 races here. So he's another guy that you can't even count out for this odd number group. Of course, there's a fair number of even guys as well, but I feel like you're getting more bang for your buck with going to the odd side of things. Only minus 118. So yeah, love the winning car number -118 as odd over on Bet Rivers.
Yes, sir. I love me some winning car numbers. I'm seeing some stuff in the chat. Hang tight, chat. I got you because I got a couple for you on that as well, especially between JDK and Rye. So hang tight, guys. We definitely are bringing that stuff up here in a second. But yeah, I mean, again, to me, this is kind of I love the numbers and I love odd because anytime you could take the better odds of one of them, take the better odds on one of them because it's almost a 50-50 shot to get it done. So I like that. Here's one that I like as well, and I'm taking the better side of this one too. I'll take the winning car number over 21.5. This one's at +164. Over 21.5 gets you a hell of a deal, I think, in this instance. It gets you Joey Logano, who has won this race already. It gets you Bubba Wallace, which you talked about. It gets you William Byron, who we also know can jump up and win a race at any time out there. Cody, do I have to say Voldemort's name? I won't say.
I'd rather you not.
Okay, I won't. He doesn't factor in the mix anyways. But you get guys like Ryan Preece, John Hunter Nemechek, Tyler Reddick, you get Bowman, you get Haley, you get Gibbs, right? I mean, you get even Daniel Suarez, who could very possibly surprise us this season, which is highly unlikely, but something that I think we might be able to see at least one win out of him. I think I made the case for it, right? Or maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I feel like I made the case for him to at least win one race. But yeah, so Daniel Suarez is in that mix as well. That's a lot of heavy hitters on the south side of 21.5. Now, again, there are a lot of heavy hitters up there on the north side of it too. But I feel like and I'll give you a couple that I'll hedge off of later on anyways. So I feel like the plus side of this is good because it gives you a pretty decent stock of drivers on the second half of it. So I do want to answer one question real quick though. Kyle Lee asking what Austin Dillon's top 3 odds are.
+875.
There it is. +875.
That's a really, really good one to look at. I know I don't want to spoil it too much, but a guy we might be talking about again in a few minutes here. But yeah, his top 3 number, definitely another one to look at. Rye brings up a good point about Suarez, who you mentioned. He's racing in the NASCAR Mexico race. That's so right. He is going to have that, imagine, Rod, a couple of weeks ago, we thought, we would have all these Busch Clash odds, and maybe they would be so giftful to us to give us NASCAR Mexico odds. We can't even get a full slate of regular NASCAR odds. So amazing how far we've fallen in the last week, but that's okay. But to his point, extra track time might be huge. Also, Lost Prophet saying, hey, fellas, NASCAR is back, baby. Yes, it is. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Indeed. All right. Speaking of NASCAR's back, let's load up another bet.
Yeah. So moving over to Hard Rock, who is, stepped up their game, I guess, a little bit here in the NASCAR betting market. They have the manufacturer, winning manufacturer bets listed. I was trying to pull it back up quickly to read them all off. You got Chevrolet at +155, Ford at +180, Toyota at +200. Rod, I mentioned before, we had talked about, when we gave out our top 3 picks, 3 of the 4 guys we gave out, all Toyota cars. Toyota, a little bit of a bigger group this year than we're used to. Of course, they've added the 2 legacy cars, so you toss those out there. But, they're the farthest shot at +200. And, there's not a clear-cut favorite in this. Martin Truex Jr. in most books is the favorite to win the race, but it's not at a low number, right? He's moved down to +750, but he was a lot higher than that for a while. Kyle Larson in some books. So there's not like it should just be this guy, right? Or these 2 guys. There's nothing like that. And so I think that helps you lean towards the longer shot, right, at 2-1. But you look at the odds board, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell over on Caesars are the top 2 guys listed, both in Toyotas. Then you've got a few other guys. But as you go through here, Denny Hamlin, that's a guy that could win. We like Ty Gibbs as well. Tyler Reddick, definitely a guy I think could win. Bubba Wallace, you just made the case for him to finish in the top 3. The Toyota group is very, very strong. I feel like they're not at a disadvantage to Chevrolet or Ford other than in the numbers game. I think that argument can be made, right? There's a lot more Chevys, there's a lot more Fords, and so there's something for that. But as strong as the Toyota group is, multiple of the the top two favorites on Caesars here are Toyotas. So I think that going the Toyota route at plus 200 is a good way to go.
Did Legacy do something to us? Did they make us amp up?
I forgot to mention both those guys too, but
I'm just saying, like, I feel like now that Legacy is in the Toyota camp, like all of a sudden our brains are like, ooh, Toyota's bigger, therefore they're probably better, right? I don't know if that's just a psychological thing.
It is funny because I said that they're bigger and then I didn't even mention either of their drivers. But hey, John Hunter, the guy you really like, and Eric Jones is a very solid driver in his own right too. So, and I think we're going to be talking about those guys a lot as the season goes on. I'm not bringing them up so much this weekend, but it's going to be discussed this year. I think how strong that team is going to be and what kind of addition that'll be to Toyota. Another thing too, Toyota and Ford are bringing new cars this year, so that's going to be a learning curve as we go. See where they're strong at, where they're struggling at, and we'll have to see as the season goes on with that.
Which segues perfectly into my manufacturer bet, which is Chevy. Toyota and Ford are bringing new cars to the track this season.
Oh, I helped you make your argument. Damn it.
Chevy is the only one that is going to be bringing the same sort of body that it did last season, which it's not like this is a clear-cut advantage for anybody. This isn't like it's a completely, oh my God, because of this, Chevy's going to kill it. But Chevy is the favorite at plus 155. And I still feel like, listen, on most race weeks, you are not going to see Chevy at plus 155 more often than not to be the winning manufacturer. I mean, you're going to get, it's a low number, relatively low number for NASCAR. As you heard us giving out 725s and 600s like they were nothing, right? I mean, this is on the lower end of what we expect to see. But for Chevy, I mean, honestly, there's so many Chevys out there right now. We talk about Kyle Busch had a dominant run on this track. We got guys like Chastain, Dillon, who I think is pretty good, Larson, LaJoy, Elliott, Byron, the list goes on Stenhouse, Bowman, right? All these guys driving Chevys. That's a stocked list of folks. And now, granted, we know that Fords and Toyotas have performed well here in the last couple of seasons. That doesn't mean that a Chevy can't catch up. And
does Chevy complete the trifecta? We've had a Ford and a Toyota win. Chevy hasn't won yet, so there you go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you believe in scripts, right, which is the thing floating around, the conspiracy theory floating around now, you might want to give Chevy a win at the Coliseum before they dip. No, listen, honestly, it's just a matter of, I feel like, and now the whole thing was skewed toward Ford and Chevy earlier until Toyota picked up Legacy. So now it's a little bit more even, but I still think that if we're going to go and sprinkle a little something on it, my two top would be Toyota and Chevy. So you took Toyota. I'm going to go ahead and take Chevy because it's a loaded stable.
Yeah, and you go back and you look at last year, right? Toyota wins. You got some Chevys up there. Again, as we've mentioned, we hit Ryan Preece as the top Ford. He finished in 7th place. So the Fords did struggle a little bit more than the other manufacturers. Will has a question. He says Truex or Logano. If you're putting them in a head-to-head, which, if we had head-to-heads, maybe we could talk about this a little more. That'd be great. But
put it on cut. Take it to cut.
I'm not bitter at all that we don't have head-to-head. How do we not have head-to-head matchups on a Wednesday before? Anyways. So we'll go the book of Will here and take the head-to-head Truex versus Logano. Logano remains the hardest guy in the garage to handicap, to decide when he's going to be good, when he's not. These are the two guys who have won the 2 races here. So I think that is a solid head-to-head matchup. I'm going to lean the Truex side. We talked about him. Well, I guess we haven't talked about him yet, but we're going to talk about him. But I think he's going to be very strong. He's a favorite for a reason. Won the race last season. His short flat stuff has just been so good over the past year, right? 2022, again, kind of a throw out for him just because of how bad it was. But yeah, I think I would take the Truex side on that, mostly because Logano is just so freaking hard to nail down when he's going to show up and when he's just going to be out to lunch.
Yep, I agree. Just to finish my point about the Chevy, last year it was Toyota, and then the next 4 drivers were Chevys. And then the year before that, it was a Ford and Toyota. The next 4 cars were Chevys. So, and none of them are now Toyota drivers. They were all remain Chevy drivers going into this. So I like that. All right. I guess all that's left is to give out some outrights for this Busch Clash. We're here. Our first outrights of this, our first official outrights of the season, Cody.
Rod logs into the show before the show as we get on here, and he looks at the box, filled it up. Come on, Rod. You knew I was going to fill up the winning section. That's what I do. That's how we make money. I love it. I am going to start off. Our guy, Rye Cape, in the chat here says KFB, baby. That's where I'm going for my first outright. Kyle fucking Busch. Give him to me. 12-1 over on Superbook. 10-1 a lot of places, but Superbook's got him over at 12-1. 2 years at this track. He finished third and second, which means he has one more spot to complete the trifecta for the cycle on the podium at the LA Coliseum here. So love Kyle Busch. You go back to 2022 as well. Tyler Reddick in that 8 car led 51 laps, got dumped as we talked about before. So that car was strong. Kyle was strong in the 18 that year, and then he comes back, was strong last year as well, and had a really good run. So love him. We talked about Austin Dillon, his teammate, has been in the top 3 both races. RCR seems to do well here, seems to show up. Again, this is you can still bet on Toyota to win, but you bet on Kyle Busch over here to win. If Kyle wins, you're not too worried about it because he covers you anyways. So a nice little hedge off of that as well. And it's same with the winning car number is odd. If you're going to bet that, if you have outrights on some even guys, that kind of evens things out for you a little bit. So love Kyle Busch this weekend. Rod, to nobody's surprise, Tyler Reddick, he's going to start his big winning streak for the season right here. 20-1 on DraftKings. Telling you, we're going to look back later this season and be like, do you remember when we hit Tyler Reddick at 20-1 and now he's 5-1 every week? It's going to be crazy. Absolutely love Tyler Reddick this season. Love him this weekend. And watching, I've only seen the first 3 episodes of the NASCAR show over on Netflix, which go check it out. It's real. The first 3 episodes have been amazing. Hopefully I'll knock out the other 3 tonight, maybe, or by this weekend for sure. But Tyler Reddick is featured in there a lot. Really cool to see him, get to know these drivers a little bit more. Super cool dude. But I think he's really, really due for a good season. Super talented guy. Been good here in the past. I expect him to be good again. 20-1. Really, honestly, I can't believe his number is still that high. So I think that this is going to be the best value you're getting on the board when it comes to outrights. And I also like Ryan Preece, 22-1. Talked about him earlier. He's one of those guys you can ride the car lift, take all those numbers up. Big modified guy. This is his type of racing. Showed up last season, and really the wind kind of got stolen from him with that electrical issue. He recovered, still cashed a big bet for us. Let's make it 2 years in a row that he cashes a big bet for us. Love Ryan Preece. And then I got a little bonus bet. Caesars, they can't give us anything but outrights, but somehow they're putting cross-sport promotions on here. So I guess we'll take what we can get, Rod. But they do have one with Kyle Busch to win the race, and then Pacheco in the Super Bowl, Isaiah Pacheco, the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, to get 20 plus rushing attempts. That's a little high, but I can see the game script going that way. I can see, the 49ers, and we'll get into the Super Bowl next week. We'll have some cross-sport stuff with the Daytona 500 and give out our picks too and stuff, but I can see the game script going where that 49ers offense is scary. The Chiefs want to keep it out of their hands. They slow down. They run the ball. They've used Pacheco a lot. If I think Kyle Busch has a chance to win this, let's throw Pacheco in there as well. This one puts it up to plus 2540. So basically 25-1 to get Kyle Busch to win the Clash this weekend. Then next weekend, Pacheco gets those 20-plus rushing attempts, and you're cashing a nice ticket.
Well, I will back you up on that one only because I think at that point the game will be too out of hand that they're just going to give the ball to Pacheco and they don't even care at that point.
Yeah, they're just running the clock out while they're behind, right?
15 handoffs to Pacheco in the fourth quarter because they can't do anything else against the Snyder's defense. I'll take that all day long as well. Okay, for me, I'm going to go ahead and go with the favorite. I'm gonna stick with Martin Truex Jr. for my pick. Really because of what we had talked about earlier, right? Martin Truex Jr. had a very rough 2022 season, came back and ended up winning the Clash in 2023. He led 25 laps, started second. So it wasn't as if he was, starting from the back and working his way up. He actually was fast all day. Was one of the quicker cars, led those 25 laps and was able to pull out the win in that one. And then he went on to have a pretty decent season overall. I'm taking a look at some of these tracks that are not your typical ones that are obviously there's no track that compares to this. We've talked about that before, but we can get kind of close. He finished third at Martinsville. He won at Dover. He ended up finishing first at Loudon. He won that Loudon race, right? So all of these tracks that are smallerish, and he seems to be pretty good at anyways, and really just a good overall race car driver in and of his own right. And it's Martin Truex Jr. I mean, I keep saying it. I don't know how much longer he's got in his tank. I don't know what his fuel level is at this point, and whether or not he's going to be running too low to pull another season out of his hat. So maybe he goes out and has another spectacular run this weekend. And yeah, it's hard to bet back-to-back guys on this one, but for Martin Truex Jr., I think you can kind of safely say that this could be a favorite that'll repeat. So I'll take Martin Truex Jr. You're probably going to hear him all over the place, so I won't belabor you with it. Everybody else is going to give you their opinions on Martin Truex Jr. So I'll just say, yeah, go ahead and go with the flow on that one. But I'll also toss out Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon, we go back to Kyle Lee talking about Austin Dillon's top 3 odds. And let's see, we also had somebody else. Oh yeah, and Rye Cape talking about Austin Dillon could win. I agree with you, buddy. I'd put him in my document before we got into the show. Austin Dillon 3-1 right now, or 30-1 rather, to win this race. That's a fantastic odds for a guy who actually came in second last season, and then in the race before that actually had another top 3 finish. He finished third in the first car. And look at this is a 3 car that
second.
No, that's
pattern. See if it's
the car lift going up to the top. Yeah, I mean, again, he finished third in the first one, finished second, got a little better. Maybe this time he breaks the mold and goes for the win. I don't know what it is about this track, maybe about this race or whatever, but Austin Dillon seems to love it. And for me, 35-1 on ESPN.
Oh, does ESPN Bet actually have Clash odds up now?
Because down.
But it's been just a empty tab that says Busch Light Clash and then nothing loads, and I've been waiting for them to put their shit up. But anyways, keep going.
If they have it, then definitely 35-1 is a much better deal on that one. So yeah, again, for him, the 3 car is not somebody that a lot of people are going to bet on. It's not somebody that is going to be heavily bet. So you can get, I even think if you can find 35-1, I don't know if you want to wait, maybe not wait too long, see what other books come up with. But like I said, I love me some Austin Dillon, which I think is a sneaky play in not just the outright betting market, but wherever else you can get him. I mean, if you want to take this car lift all the way to the top to find top 3, top 5s, whatever, and put it on Austin Dillon.
Yeah, I love Austin Dillon this weekend. I'm glad you put him on there. I didn't get him worked into mine, but I'm glad you brought him up. I did want to mention too, if you like your Martin Truex Jr. pick, if you also like the Chiefs to cover +2, Caesars does have a boost with the 2 of them that puts it at +1523. I know Rod will not take that. Of course, his 49ers are going to win by 100, but just in case anyone else is looking for it out there.
I'm sorry, but the Chiefs are not going to pull within a point of the Niners. The only time that they'll be close.
The 49ers could win. The Chiefs lose by 1. Martin Truex wins. Then you win the Super Bowl. You win the bets. Everything could just work out perfectly.
I don't want it that close. I want the only time for them to be closer than that is at the 0-0 mark at the beginning of the game. After that, I just want the Niners to kill them. I don't even care at this point. So, all right. Well then, Cody, that brings us to the end. I can't believe we've gotten to the end of this. I'm so sad. I love it though. We still get out some really good bets, and we haven't. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So, again, fuck the books because they're a bunch of pansies, not giving us true real odds. But hopefully we'll be back. Again, if we got some stuff out by Friday, I know Rod's away with the Army this weekend, but if we can make it work, we'll try and be back and give more picks. But we appreciate everybody joining us live. This has been great. If you're listening later on the podcast, it gets a lot better than this when we get to the real races, quote unquote. So stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a fun season. We're ready to go cash some bets, win some money. Oh man, it's amazing. I love it. We're here. We've made it. We've given out our first picks. Gosh, just everything about it is wonderful.
If I got to come in full battle rattle on Friday, I'll come in full battle rattle. We'll make it happen. Cody, before I recap the bets, I want you to tell me about what's going on with our Daytona 500 contest.
Yes, the Daytona 500 contest. Still got time to enter that, obviously. But yeah, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. Simple as that. Take a screenshot. Go click on the link. We've got it in our pinned messages on Facebook. We've got it in our pinned tweet on Twitter. It's in the Discord. I'll drop the link in there again. You click on that, submit that screenshot, put your name, email in there so we can contact you when you win. And then you just pick your Daytona 500 winner. You know, it doesn't matter the odds, doesn't matter anything. It's just you're simple as that. You pick who you think is going to win. And we're giving out $100 and $100 SGPN merch store gift card for that. I'm pumped. This is a really, really fun contest. Really simple. You have to jump through a bunch of hoops. One quick thing that helps us out, helps you out, and big prizes. Love it. A lot of fun. So shout out to the bosses for helping us put that together.
Yes, sir. Again, if you want to watch us on the big show and you didn't, and you're a fan of us proper and you didn't realize that we were on the big show, go check it out. It's on their YouTube page. We gave out some of our favorite Busch picks there and just chatted overall. So I love that. All right, let me recap the bets for you as we send you on your way this Wednesday afternoon. Cody started you out with Tyler Reddick as a top 3 car at plus 600 over on Bet Rivers. I gave you Ty Gibbs as a top 3 car at plus 725. Cody gave you Chase Briscoe as a top 3 car at plus 725. Also, I gave you Bubba Wallace as a top 3 car at plus 600. Cody told you that the winning car number was going to be odd at minus 118. I said that winning car number would also be over 21.5 at plus 164. Cody said that the winning manufacturer was going to be Toyota at plus 200. I said the manufacturer would be Chevy at plus 155. Cody said that Kyle Busch was going to be the winner of this race at 12-1. He also had Tyler Reddick at 20-1 and Ryan Preece at 22-1. Gave you a Kyle Busch to win this race with Isaiah Pacheco to have 20 or more rushing attempts. That little boost over there is plus 2540 over on Caesars. I said the favorite would repeat, Martin Truex at 10-1, and then threw out Austin Dillon at 35-1 as a long shot winner of the Clash at the Coliseum. Cody, let's go. It's time.
Oh, it's here. We got races. We've got bets. I love it. I'm excited. Let's go win some money.
Let's go win some money. Fine. We'll let everybody go today to go place those bets. And of course, keep up in the Discord because as more happens, we'll definitely keep you posted. And listen, honestly, if you're brand new, if you've just joined us, and if you're looking for the rest of what's going on, join the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. There's a NASCAR channel in there. Guys like Ty Tiger, guys like Rye, guys like Kyle, all these guys active in and JDK, all of them active in the Discord. We are active in the Discord, giving you guys updates, posting odds when we get them. So, I mean, we're trying to be on top of everything as a podcast, but damn it, when the action moves fast and furious, that Discord is the place to get down and find all of your favorite stuff. So make sure you join that community. Valuable resource.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great place to be. You can pick people's minds. You can get opinions. You know, if you got questions for us, if you missed the live show, if you listen on the podcast, or you think of something else later, you notice something else later, you can drop it in there. What would you take on this? What do you think about that? We're always willing to answer that stuff too. So yeah, it's a place to be. It's a lot of fun. And it's always exciting. You can sweat out the bets with everybody else. You know, a lot of times we're all in a lot of the same stuff. So you can sweat it out during the race all together. It's a safe space to come. So lots and lots of fun over there.
Indeed. All right, Cody, as we send everybody out the door, let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, follow me on the X at Husker_Zeeb. Find all my work over there. I got a ton of stuff out for sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Ton more stuff coming out. So keep checking it out. Back tomorrow, we got DFS plays. And then Friday, we'll see. Maybe the books will pull their heads out of their asses and we'll have more odds to give you. But whatever it is, good luck this week. Let's go make some money. And it's racing season, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm on X at RJ Villagomez. Link in the bio, everything I got going on, whether it's here, whether it's in between media, whether it's Sportsbook Review, AFL podcast, whatever it is, I'm there. Find it on X. We will be back tomorrow with our DFS picks. DFS for the first one of the season. Super excited to bring that one to you. So, till then, ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing and let it ride.